Hi, I'm Movie Cat, aka Roller Coaster Rider, and I'm going to, hmm, I would say review, but I'm not going to. Sausage Party. I am not a fan of one of the main actors in the movie, and I made a promise to myself that I wasn't going to put myself through torture of watching this chick by watching her in any movie or doing a review. So instead, I'm going to do a sausage party drinking game. I have very little idea about this movie other than apparently it's a filthy masterpiece from deadline.com. So let's see if this really is a filthy masterpiece. And I'm going to do it by following the three main drinking game rules. I'm going to take a sip every time one of George Carlin's seven dirty words you can't say on television is said. And I'm going to take a sip every time Kristen Wiig's storyline comes in, even though we all know it's just a pretty much copycat clone of her role in Paul. Well, I've got a lot to drink, and I have. How long is this dang movie gonna be? Fortunately, only 89 minutes, so bottoms up. I, apol- I apologize. I forgot the third drinking game thing. Take a sip for every time there's a drug use or drug reference. Because as we all know, Seth Rogen does not repeat jokes, especially these jokes of profanity, his laugh, or a drug reference. Because if he did, then critics might think he might be a little repetitive and not give his movies constant freaking critical praise whether they deserve it or not. Hmm, something no animated movie has ever done. A musical number. In a store. A joke where the German food wants to exterminate the Jews. Stay original. Michael Cera getting picked on by a bully who's taller and dumber than him. I've never seen that before in any movie ever. Kristen Wiig is in this movie rambling for no real reason, making lame puns, mediocre sex jokes, and telling someone to not interrupt her joke. Well, if she told one, then I would understand. So in this completely original animated movie, there's a wise old Native American character. Well, outside of Pocahontas and Planes Fire and Rescue, I've never seen that before. I guess you could also include Brother Bear and maybe Pocahontas too. So Danny McBride plays a character that has a lot of dick and masturbation jokes. Well, apart from Your Highness, I've never seen him do that before, or in This Is the End. This is a completely original movie. Remember that. So in this completely original movie, they have a Jewish guy voicing a sounding Middle Eastern guy. Well, apart from Borat, that is completely original. So in this movie, there's an there's a Jewish guy and that Middle Eastern guy arguing over space, and Seth Rogen says, "Why don't you share?" Man, that is some smart commentary. So in this movie that Seth Rogen is in, has written, and has a story in, and is a producer, he stars as the main leader. I've never seen that in a Seth Rogen movie. He usually always plays a side character. He's never the lead in a movie that he's written. Seth Rogen getting high. What a completely original idea. So, in addition to playing a Native American stereotype, Bill Hader also voices not one, but two Mexican stereotypes. Why is it that an animated movie that has been completely CG would have a flashback that is not CG animation and looks more traditional? Is that original? I guess it is. So, Seth Rogen is in a movie that is critical of religion. Apart from Paul, I've never seen that before. So, Barry feels bad for not helping Seth Rogen's character. I have nothing else to say. I don't know how to reference it, so I'll just quote Nostalgia Critic. Tell Bilbo I never loved him! Well, I guess if food and douches can talk in this movie, why not used condoms? A breakup scene over a misunderstanding. Never seen that before in a movie. Getting Meatloaf to play a character that is Meatloaf and singing a song. Okay, you get 1 point for creativity there. I guess if one pot reference isn't enough, do a bath salt reference. Less than 20 minutes later. And now he's apparently shot himself full of Dr. Doolittle because the he can now understand the food as the food can now understand him. So that scene has a fade out. You know what, Nostalgia Critic? You better review this because you hated Doug the movie for doing the exact same thing, so you'd also better hate this movie for doing the exact same thing. Final thoughts. I will admit that the ending uh did surprise me and it was pretty cool and action packed. But for someone who's had this idea since 2008, is it really is Sausage Party really that much of an original, groundbreaking, unbelievable accomplishment? Yeah, it's a rated R. Yeah, it's a rated R animated movie. There's been other R-rated animated movies. It's an R-rated CGI movie. Okay, is that groundbreaking? But let's look back. So he had the idea in 2008. So let's just really review what it is basically. Seth Rogen plays the lead. Kristen Wiig plays a pointless role slash point one dimensional love interest because one dimension is too much dimension for her. Selma Hayek plays a Latin woman. James Franco plays someone who does drugs. Nick Kroll plays someone who's a jerk. Michael Cera plays someone who's a wimp and gets made fun of slash picked on. Danny McBride tells penis jokes, and inanimate objects are alive, but humans don't know. I guess those are completely unique and original concepts that I've never seen or heard of before. Well, okay, being fair, the film had two new things. One was that the non Jewish Ed Norton was basically doing his Woody Allen impression that he did on SNL in 2013. So, Lorne Michaels, you deserve a check. And the second thing is that Selma Hayek is playing a lesbian. Is this movie really that groundbreaking? Food talking is groundbreaking? Is there going to be a sequel? Probably, because you people just love everything Seth Rogen does, regardless of quality or whether he repeats it over and over and over and over again. Like I said, Kristen Wiig is pretty much playing her character from Paul. Seth Rogen is playing, well, pretty much any Seth Rogen movie. Nick Kroll is playing someone who's a jerk. James Franco is playing someone who does drugs. Danny McBride is someone who's talking about his penis. Bill Hader is playing a small side role, and in this one is doing a Native American and Mexican stereotypes. One thing I do want to point out is that in Planes, Fire, and Rescue, Animat was very critical on Windlifter, who played a Native American stereotype. I wonder what his opinion of this movie is. Of course, I don't care because I think he's a total moron and a jerk. Yes, okay, I know this movie is supposed to be a big parody of Disney and Pixar films. Woohoo. Is it really a parody? It seems more like they copied the general premises and ideas. Yeah, they added the F word and the S word and they brought up religion, but does that make it a spoof now? Is it a parody of it because they did those few things? Is it a parody because these actors are pretty much doing the same shtick that they do in many other movies? Does that make this movie so groundbreaking and original? Is this movie such the critical commercial masterpiece that it deserves to be? Well, Erod, well, this is, I guess this, for you, this would be better than planes or cars because the food does have hands, even though I'm not really sure why they would have hands. So, you guys are gonna probably say I'm a Seth Rogen hater, which I borderline am. You guys are gonna say that I'm an idiot, that I'm a jerk, and that I just didn't get it. Okay, go ahead. If you want to like this movie, that's fine, but please tell me how this movie is so groundbreaking. Is it because they were able to make it cheap? I'm not really sure. I don't get the hype behind this movie, and I really genuinely would like one of you to tell me what is so special, what is so unique, what makes this movie so different from any other movie. And don't mention profanity, don't mention religion, and don't mention and yeah, just don't mention, you can't mention religion and you can't mention profanity, because if you took those two things out, this movie would pretty much be this movie I don't think would get the attention that it did receive. So again, please comment, let me know how I'm so wrong and how I didn't see this the proper way or whatever. Yeah. Peace. Oh, I almost forgot. Join me next time when I decide to look at a borderline remake of a movie I didn't like in the first place and thought it was also overhyped. So let's see if the remake can show me something. Well, just show me anything. That movie was boring. Not this one, the original.